Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. It is Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, and welcome to Soul Strengthening Sessions. We are doing our recovery series, and today I am bringing you a special request, and I'm calling this the pain of instant gratification. This recovery series is all about self and all about the struggles that we have within self. And today's topic is instant gratification. So let me define from the start, what is instant gratification and why is it painful? Here is a very concise, to the point definition for this condition and struggle. Instant gratification is getting what you want when you want it, usually without effort or obstacle, thus the basis of its appeal, thus the root of its danger. There is a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual process that this begins in and is rooted in. And we're going to get into this because it's something that many of us wrestle with, but we're going to dig a little bit today and identify why this is painful and dangerous at times. So why is instant gratification painful? Because it is not a permanent state of existence, and one that tricks your mind and heart and body to get stuck in cycles of addiction. There's actually a whole physiological process that happens when we get in these cycles of wanting to get what we want when we want it. Everyone has, I'm going to go into this first because this is important to kind of preface to understand that there is a healthy and natural desire that we have. We all desire what we desire. We all have hopes and goals and desires and dreams. But when we place our trust in the source that will give us everlasting of each of these, when I say each of these, I'm talking specifically, don't mind my little friend here. This fly literally never wants to leave our house, so just say hi. So what I'm saying here is, because we all have desires, hopes, and goals. However, the reason we have these is because they're rooted in a permanence and an everlasting source. This is where they come from, and this is why we're always seeking to have them fulfilled. And this is mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And when we understand this, then we can learn to practice the patience to wait, to receive what will bring the true contentment that we're seeking after. So, in other words, people who wrestle with wanting what they want and wanting it now, and needing to do whatever it takes to get it, is because they haven't yet learned or understood that it is a natural desire to want what you desire and hope and dream, but there's a process to get it. And furthermore, there is some soul searching to understand what it truly is. And the only way is to practice patience and gratitude. These are your two best friends when it comes to wrestling with instant gratification. So this is very important to understand as your foundation to getting out of these cycles. So if you notice the struggle with needing instant gratification, is this: you're always looking for what's next to fill that void and space within you, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, to give you satisfaction. Again, we were created to be fulfilled. We were created to be joyful and in love and in peace. So when we don't know how to find that permanence, we are searching in temporary escapes. I've talked about this before. This is the root of all addictions. You are looking to fill a void that you've yet to discover the permanent fix to. Okay? Instant gratification is wrapped in temporary highs to gratify your flesh. That is to say, the part of your soul that is carnal, that is, some would say, sort of animalistic or instinctive, that sort of just, has no sense of self-control. Okay? So the part of self that is also broken and still seeking rescue. Again, this always comes back to the broken part of self. Okay? My broken part of self is always seeking rescue and healing. And if I don't yet know the source and the root of my healing, I'm going to be looking for temporary escapes so that I can feel better in the moment. And that goes for any brokenness that we deal with. There's stages to this, because some of us are very aware of what we struggle with, and some of us are not even aware of why we feel the way we feel, or think the way we think, or do the things we do. So it's almost an autopilot that I turn to this or I turn to that to help me escape, because it is a painful existence. So, yes, I got into this just a second ago, and I've shared this before, but because, I'm going to recap this, because instant gratification is wrapped in temporary highs, to gratify your flesh, again, the part of self that is still learning to heal, or the part of self that is really immersed in brokenness, is why many of us in this brokenness turn to addictions to quench the thirst we seemingly think we have. Furthermore, we are never satisfied with anything. We choose to be our temporary escape or cure or high. I'm going to say that again, because this is the crux of this. Okay? Instant gratification is wrapped in temporary highs to gratify your flesh. That is the broken part of self that is still looking for rescue. And this is why many of us in this broken self and brokenness turn to addictions to quench the thirst we seemingly think we have, and are never satisfied with anything. We choose to be our temporary escape or cure or high. So it's a vicious cycle. It's a toxic cycle. And it can be a deadly cycle of seeking these temporary escapes to make me feel better and make me feel good. Because what happens is I get caught in this loop of behaviors and habits that actually make me sink further into my brokenness. So it's a very, very painful place to be. But there's hope, and we're getting to this, okay? As broken humans, we are constantly seeking a home for our spirit, our soul, and our body. The true and only way to find its permanence, again, this is what we're seeking after, is that permanence to keep me in a state of equilibrium, spirit, soul, and body, is to first identify the stumbling blocks. Okay, so we all have these. Again, going back to the 2 pillars of our brokenness, which I've shared many, many, many times, our childhood trauma and our childhood brokenness in our life choices as an adult. So when we can get to these 2 roots of what happened to me when I was growing up and why did I choose to live the lifestyle I chose as an adult, then I can get to why do I make these decisions to temporarily escape my problems or my issues, or seemingly what's coming at me from the outside that just catapults me into toxic and negative behaviors and patterns. Okay, so instant gratification is one of them. And that is to say, it is one of these stumbling blocks, and it is a big one that many of us are lost in the battle of. So if you're here, first of all, I want to encourage you by saying it is not uncommon, because really what you're seeking after is just to feel better. So you may be turning to, as I said, addictive behaviors or addictions in and of themselves, whether they're mental addictions, emotional addictions, or physical addictions, because you're still in this place of, I don't know how to feel better. So I'm looking for these temporary escapes to give me some kind of rescue and remedy so I can feel good. Because again, we were created to be in peace. We were created to feel love, and we were created to feel and experience joy. So when I am in a state or a season of my life where I am needing to feel better and I don't know how, as I mentioned before, this can be one of those seasons of I'm running away from the pain. And a lot of times you're not even aware that you have a mental brokenness that you're running from, or you have an emotional brokenness that you're running from, or you have a physical brokenness that you're running from. So you're choosing to opt out instead of facing it head on. So I would call this the first stage of recovery, which is, temporary escapes, instant gratification, running away, or repressing what's really going on. Now, addiction in and of itself, is its own battle and issue and wrestle and struggle and problem that needs to be addressed in and of itself according to what it is, and according to the roots that created it. But the culprit behind addictions is the wrestle within. Okay? It's a vicious cycle. And we all have something that we wrestle with to help us feel like we're coming out of the pain that we're enduring. Now, I'm going to go back to this basic understanding, because when we can unlock the key to being free from this bondage is when we start to see change in our life. And the key to understanding this is to know that there is permanence in healing. I can reach a place where I can overcome a struggle. But I have to be rooted and anchored spiritually first to pull my soul out of darkness, or whatever wrestle I'm dealing with, whatever issue, addiction, struggle I'm dealing with. I need an anchor. And the only way I can get out of it is having a spiritual foundation that is everlasting and permanent. And we have that resource and source, capital S, to do that for us. So, as I mentioned, we have rescue, true remedy, true cure, and permanent high, which is what we're seeking. We're always wanting to be happy. We're always wanting to feel like we're loved. We're always wanting to experience, a consistent state of peace. But all of these, as I've called them before, spiritual inheritances, come from the source himself, who is God. And it's when we draw from that source that we can begin to assimilate it into our soul realm, which is where the wrestle is. And that's when we can learn to renew our mind, how we think about our life, how we think about ourselves, to renew our heart, to strengthen our heart, so that we can have a new way of feeling about ourselves and about our life. And obviously physically, to assimilate that strength into our physical body so that we can learn to have different coping mechanisms that are healthier to pull us out of this wrestle. As I mentioned earlier, the way out of this toxic maze is through the practice of patience combined with gratitude. Okay, again, both having a thankful heart and having a patient posture and demeanor and perspective comes from the Spirit. In fact, I need to draw from the Spirit of the Lord to give me the strength to be patient and to be thankful. So my perspective and my attitude must be in a place where they can be yielded to a new way of looking at life and a new way of looking at myself. Again, it's called a practice because I have to be diligent to make it happen. It's not coming by osmosis. It's not coming, although it can happen supernaturally, don't get me wrong. There are many times that just saying yes to the Spirit to give you a new way of thinking or a new, a new bill of health or whatever it is, it can happen, of course, supernaturally. But more often than not, I have to learn the practice of being patient with my life, being patient with myself, and certainly being patient with others, all of which are the sum of our brokenness. So it really is an unraveling of everything I've been through up to this point and the choices that I make today that will impact my life tomorrow. So, how I see myself, how I see my life, how I understand myself, and how I understand my life are 4 areas to give you to ponder and think about, how do you see yourself? How do you see your life? How do you understand yourself? How well do you understand yourself? And how well do you understand your life? Do you understand why you wrestle with the issue of instant gratification? Or do you understand why you wrestle and struggle with certain addictions or behaviors or habits? Can you pinpoint when this started, where it came from? And if you can't, there is a process to do this, and it's called the inner healing journey. It's what I teach, it's what I share, and it's what I hope for you to gain the knowledge and wisdom to bless yourself with, so that you can get out of cycles and patterns that have been passed down from generation to generation, so that you can be the cycle breaker in your family and in your life. The more I'm in tune with myself, the better equipped I will be to combat the thieves of the dream life I want and need, and the true hopes, desires, and goals and dreams that I know I was meant to live out. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. Some strategies that can help you today, no matter where you are in this plane of pain and wrestle with instant gratification, is number one, know that whatever you're wrestling with is not beyond repair. It's not beyond help. It's not beyond repair. It's not beyond the true and permanent rescue that you're seeking, because we were created to live in true freedom. So that is the start, is to know there's hope for me. I don't have to continue living like this. I don't have to continue feeling like this. And I certainly don't need to continue hurting myself by continuing in these toxic patterns and cycles. I can break free and be delivered from this, whatever your this is. Number two, get in touch with yourself. Okay? Take some time to take an inventory of your inner self, your thoughts, your feelings, the choices you've been making lately, or the choices you've made throughout your life. And ask yourself why. Why do I think this way? Why do I feel this way? And why do I continue to make these decisions? Coming to a place of self-awareness is taking your power back, because it's the start of acknowledgement to turn my life into the life of restoration that I want for myself. Because we all want to heal from whatever we've wrestled with or whatever we're dealing with. And number three, patience and gratitude. We have to remember every day is a gift. My breath right now is a gift from the one who gave it to me. And when I shift my perspective from lack and what I don't have to what do I have that I can rejoice and be grateful for. Because this pain of instant gratification is rooted in what I don't have. I'm always seeking more because I'm not content with what I have. And furthermore, you may also be seeking things you actually don't really want. It's more of just an autopilot response. Because again, it's a cycle. You're just going round and round and round and getting nowhere, and never being quenched, truly quenched and quelled and satisfied. Because what you're truly seeking is that permanent remedy to make you feel the wholeness that you're seeking. So gratitude, be grateful for your life, be grateful for what you have. However small it is, however little it is what you have, and it is a gift to you. And patience. Patience. What is patience? Patience is endurance in the trial. It is long suffering. It is putting up with things that you don't want to put up with, but you know there's a great reward for doing so. It is faith. It is having a trust and belief that I'm bearing with this because I know that this investment of my time or this investment of my energy is going to produce amazing fruit, because I'm waiting on the better that I really want. And this requires trust. Trust in what? Trust in God to help you go through the process and to actually reward you for going through the process. And there is great reward for going through the process in your own life, whatever it is that you're battling and trying to come out of. There is amazing reward. And this, again, this is a practice. This is something that we have to remind ourselves, because for some of us, it doesn't come natural to be patient. It doesn't come natural to be grateful. Some of us like to complain a lot. Some of us are just, impatient and short and curt and inconsiderate. And we have to learn how to shift our perspective in our attitude to gratitude and to patience, which are all rooted in love and peace and joy. So I hope this helped you and blessed you. Short video today, but there is more to come. And feel free to share if you have any suggestions or thoughts or requests on this recovery series that we've been doing, that we started. Actually, we just started it, but that we're going to be doing. Please send them my way. And if any of you guys are interested in one-to-one inner healing sessions with me, please reach out. I'm available afternoons and evenings, Monday through Friday, and I would be happy to help you get started or continue your inner healing journey. Hope y'all are doing well. I love y'all so much, and I'll talk to you soon.